back to my channel. Now I'm discussing few of the questions frequently asked for the radiographer's exam. I have included topics from anatomy, radiation physics, nuclear medicine, radiodiagnosis as well as radiation safety. Along with the question and the answers, I have given a brief explanation too. So it will be helpful for all those who are preparing for the exam. So please do watch all the sessions and please do support me. And if you have any queries, please feel free to mail to my address which is given in my slide. So thank you. Welcome back to the part 10 exam coaching for radiographers. For today's session, I have included more questions from X-rays and special investigation procedures. So let us see the questions for today's session. Question number 93. HSG is done on which day of a 28-day cycle? HSG means hysterosalpingiography. Option A 4, option B 10, option C 14 and option D 18. The answer is B 10. HSG hysterosalpingiography should be scheduled after the period ends but before you expect to ovulate, usually between the day 6 and 10 of your menstrual cycle. Question number 94. Orthopantomography is an investigation of option A maxilla, option B clavicle, option C tibia and option D thallus. The answer is option A maxilla. An OPG, orthopantomography, is a panoramic X-ray of the upper and lower jaw including the teeth. Question number 95. Townes view is option A fronto-occipital, option B fronto-occipital 30-degree chordate, option C occipitofrontal and option D occipitomental. The answer is option B fronto-occipital 30-degree chordate. The Townes view is an angled posterior radiograph of the skull and visualizes the pectoris part of the pyramids, the dorsum sella and the posterior glenoid process which are visible in the shadow of the foramen magnum. Question number 96. Frontonasal articulation is called option A nasion, option B glabella, option C vertex and option D inion. The answer is option A nasion. The nasion is the most anterior part of the frontonasal suture that joins the nasal part of the frontal bone and the nasal bone. Question number 97. Line extending from the outer canthus of the eye to the center of the external auditory meatus is option A infraorbital line, option B anthropological baseline, option C auricular line and option D orbitomeatal baseline. The answer is option D orbitomeatal baseline. So orbitomeatal baseline is the line joining or extending from the outer canthus of the eye to the center of the external auditory meatus. Number 98. Lower costal margin corresponds to option A L1 vertebrae, option B L3 vertebrae, option C L4 vertebrae and option D L5 vertebrae. The answer is option B L3 vertebrae. The costal margin, also known as the costal arch, is the lower edge of the chest thorax formed at the bottom edge of the rib cage. T9 to L3 is the costal margin vertebral level. So the lower costal margin corresponds to the L3 vertebrae. Question number 99. Lingula of lung is best seen in which X-ray view? Option A lordotic, option B apical, option C left lateral decubitus and option D right lateral decubitus. The answer is option A, lordotic. The term lingula refers to the tip or a tongue-like projection of the upper lobe of the left lung. The left lung, unlike the right, does not have a middle lobe. The AP lordotic chest radiograph or AP axial chest radiograph demonstrate the areas of the lung apices that appear obscured on a PA and AP chest radiographic views. Question number 100. All are tarsal bones except option A pisiform, option B navicular, option C cuboid and option D cuneiform. The answer is option A pisiform. The tarsal bone are found in the ankle and include the calcaneus, talus, navicular, median, intermediate and lateral cuneiform and cuboid. The pisiform comes under carpal bone. Question number 101. In X-ray imaging, noise is determined by option A, energy of X-rays hitting the detector, option B, number of X-rays hitting the detector, option C, tissue contrast and option D, number of scatter hitting the detector. The answer is option B, number of X-rays hitting the detector. In all imaging procedures using X-ray or gamma photon, most of the image noise is produced by the random manner in which the photons, the X-ray photons are distributed within the image. This is generally designated quantum noise. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Hope you have all understood all the question and answers discussed for today's session. Stay tuned for the next session, and if you have liked my session, don't forget to like, subscribe as well as to share among your colleagues, friends and those who are preparing for the exam. So once again, thank you. Thank you so much.